What it is, movie fanatics. I know we all been waiting for this episode 7 titled Lines in the Sand, Power Book Force. I know I was, especially after the preview for this episode came out, 2 days ago? So things heating up. But without further ado, we just gonna get right up into this thing. So we start off the episode. Stacy has a bad dream in her office about getting arrested. Now, clearly, the guilt's starting to get to her. Like she all paranoid and stuff like that. And soon after, she has a press conference about catching Claudia Flynn's killer. It turns out that ended up being Ortega's cousin of the Marquez cartel. So Ortega ends up taking another loss. Singh ends up getting confronted by the representatives of the Marquez cartel about what's going on. Like, how come we wasn't informed about this arrest of Ortega's cousin? And they like, we gonna kill you, Singh, if you don't get to the bottom of this or fix it. So Singh ends up confronting Stacy about the arrest. Pretty much reaching, fishing for, hey, who's your anonymous tip? Like, how did you know that he's the killer? And Stacy like, look, we got the murder weapon. It's a win. Why are we mad? Like, let's keep it moving. And Singh is just like shaking in his boots right now because of the fact that he's got to figure out a solution to this particular situation, and he ain't got much time. So Tommy and Shanti are bonding in this particular scene, and they get a text message about a coalition meeting. Shanti says she can't make it to the meeting, and soon after she leaves, Tommy gets a text message from Peter, the Albanian's representative, about a meet. And Tommy ends up being late to the coalition meeting because Peter tells Tommy about Vic taking back one of the Irish bars back, and Peter wants revenge. So Tommy soon shows up to the coalition meeting. Pretty much the meeting was adjourned by the time he got there. And Jenard and Diamond are telling Tommy, like, unanimous. We all voted that we wanted to start pushing fentanyl. And Tommy mad because, like, that's a big move. Tommy felt like he should have definitely been involved in that particular deal. And he's definitely pissed. And he's sensing that Jenard is trying to do some type of mind games with Diamond, trying to get him onto his side. And Tommy ain't rocking with it, but Tommy handled it in a very, very mature way where he kind of was like, all right, mental note, we're gonna continue to monitor this moving forward, but I got my eye on you, Jenard type look that he had about it. So Jenard is having a conversation with one of the CBI members on his way out, and he overhears that Shanti wasn't going to be okay with the fentanyl deal either. Tommy's like, I bet. Mental note. So Tommy tells Diamond about the reason why he was late to the coalition meeting, and he ended up meeting with Peter, with the Albanians, which is basically Vic is over here trying to take over clubs that you gave me. And Tommy's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and send Jenard. Jenard, you go figure out what is going on. But I'm pretty sure there was some type of hidden motive why Tommy sent Jenard there, because to be honest, when Jenard went to go confront Vic about it, we all know Jenard, he always scheming on something, so he's spinning it. Look, before Tommy got to Chicago, we was running things like we could be the kings of Chicago if we just take him out the picture. And Jenard basically covers for Vic like, look, you need to serve up a body, pretty much. Otherwise, I'm gonna be visiting your girlfriend next, and you don't want that. So Ortega tells his hitman Titus to kill Miguel and Tommy now, since Miguel failed to serve up Tommy to Titus in the previous episode. Miguel rallies up the insane princes to get them ready for the Marquez cartel. And Miguel tells one of his henchmen, like, look, I need you to keep an eye on my sister. Like, can't have nothing happen to my sister at all. Titus attempts to kill Miguel, ends up doing a 2-man, has some other guy come and try to help him, but ends up failing to kill him. Miguel sits down with Che. It's literally asking him for permission to take out the Marquez cartel. And Che's like, look, we ain't got the soldiers for us to handle something like that. But he also mentioned the fact that we're not fit to handle them like the coalition. So my mental note on that one is pretty much it's looking like sooner or later Miguel's going to need Tommy's help with the Marquez cartel. It's only a matter of time, in my honest opinion. Ortega ends up finding out about Maria and Tommy being together, and also she's pregnant. So that could also be even more motivation for Tommy and Miguel to want to work together at this point. I could see like Titus end up going to Tommy's crib trying to kill Maria. Tommy finds out about it, and then somehow Miguel finds out about it, and they're like, look, what we gonna do about it? We gotta work together to take out this. We got a common enemy. Something around the lines of that. I could see that happening. So Tommy tells Shanti about the fentanyl deal. And then Shanti just starts spilling all the beans about Jenard, about him being a junkie, getting him clean, and the fact that Diamond knew about the situation. And Tommy like, interesting. All right, bet. Cool. D-Mac and JP end up having a conversation about JP wanting to accept D-Mac as a gangster. Pretty much, which I kind of have mixed feelings about that personally. If you know he's going down the wrong path, why are you enabling him to want to do gangster things? Like, again, I'm on the fence about it. I'm not really sure where I want to be with it just yet, but we're going to continue to monitor it because soon after that, JP hosts a dinner for D-Mac and his girlfriend Genesis, and Genesis is like, look, I want him to go to school. He had a good ass score on his SAT. He's smart as shit. JP's like, look, I'm with you 1000%. Like, I feel like D-Mac could pretty much do anything that he wants to do. Then D-Mac ends up calling Kate, which I believe this is our first scene with Kate. And Kate basically explains like, look, I'm trying to get myself together. And it's looking like she's like hosting AA meetings or something like that as far as the setting and her background. But it just seems like in this particular episode, D-Mac and JP and Kate, we'll add Kate in there too, are all trying to, make amends for the situation that happened in the previous season about D-Mac, accepting D-Mac for who he is, which what he wants to be is a gangster. And everybody's falling in line with this situation. Next, we have Diamond ends up forcing Kendra, which Kendra was this one shorty that he was messing around with in the previous season. She's a correctional officer in the jail that's pushing the drugs in the jail. And he's basically telling Diamond is telling Kendra like, look, we're going to be pushing fentanyl. Kendra really not on board with it because she knows the damage that the fentanyl is going to do. And Diamond like, man, do what I tell you to do. Like, this is when Diamond end up doing these like little switches where we get that noble Diamond, and then he just switches into that freaking insane madman Diamond. Like, I'm stunting. Do what I tell you to do. Next, we have Tommy rolls up on Jenard and was like, look, I'm gonna need you to drop off something to Shanti at the club. Now, they do have a little bit of a confrontation about it, but Jenard ends up turning around and do it. And Jenard is like, goes to the club, but he's searching for Shanti, and he can't find her. And ends up getting confronted by one of the employees at the club. And Jenard ends up screwing the employee at the club, along with taking whatever substance she may have had on her. And while he's screwing her, Shanti walks in on the situation, and Shanti is not having it. Like, she telling him straight up, like, you ain't nothing without me. And you could tell Jenard really cared about Shanti for real. Now, when I look at this, when I think about it, when it comes to Shanti, I really have a hard time understanding before this scene. Did she really love Jenard? Which I feel like she did. But at the same time, she's had a hard way of showing it because she was so ambitious of wanting to be in CBI and wanted to be at the top. by any means necessary. So that could have been misinterpreted by Gennard as they're both freaking having this full-blown argument. And soon after that, Shanti ends up freaking vandalizing the Lamborghini, Gennard's Lamborghini, and we end up transitioning where Tommy ends up being the one that set up Gennard with that club employee chick. Gennard and Shanti, that they done, and Shanti, she hurt. She hurting. She is freaking hurting right now. All right, Vic finally, he sits down with the henchmen that help take back the club from the Albanians, and they're having a conversation, and it seems like those two were extremely close because Vic was like, yeah, thank you for looking out for me when we was kids, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, damn, that dude must be really close. And then Vic ends up killing his friend. So it ended up being twice the hit for Vic. Vic then serves up his friend to Tommy. Tommy like, I don't care. Just give it to Peter and we square. But don't fuck up again, pretty much. Don't fuck up again. Stacy visits Maria at Tommy's crib. Excuse me. At Tommy and Maria's crib now. And she's like, look, I need your help to prove that Tommy killed Claudia's friend. In a nutshell, Lily tries to manipulate Maria. I can keep you safe and your baby safe, as Stacy's seeing all the baby books sitting on the table. Maria's like, nah, I'm not having it. Get out. I don't want to see you. I don't even want to deal with you. But I know in the back of Maria's mind, she knows Stacy is right. So I'm a little bit concerned right now. I'm a little bit concerned that she may end up taking the baby and running. We'll see. Because again, like I said earlier, I feel like Ortega is going to send Titus to mess with Maria and probably fail to kill her, obviously. And she's going to realize it right then. This ain't it. So we'll monitor that moving forward. Shanti and Tommy end up having a scene, and Shanti confesses everything about King Kilo, D-Mac, and Diamond and Gennard setting up D-Mac to the 9/7s to kill D-Mac to make sure that it didn't come back to CBI, considering the fact that D-Mac is Tommy's nephew. They wanted it to be an anonymous kill where it just completely absolves CBI from killing D-Mac. Tommy like, we're going to check this right now. He literally goes into the basement of the barbershop, mid-conversation with D-Mac, two members of CBI, Diamond and Gennard, and Tommy literally shoves Diamond in the back. You lied to me, dog. And you tried to kill my nephew. This ain't happening. And they end up getting into a little bit of a brawl. I ain't gonna hold you. Tommy gonna have his hands full if this ends up happening again. But in the preview for the episode, I was like, damn, because you get a little frame of D-Mac in there holding Tommy. And I'm thinking, like, when you watch the scene, it looks like they're like Gennard and Diamond are doing the hostile takeover. Like, yo, hold him down while I F him up. You know what I'm saying? In the preview, I was like, damn, I cannot believe D-Mac would do that to his uncle. Like, for real. But it wasn't even like that for real. Like, they just hold, like, in this particular scene, it shows you where everybody's loyalties lie. You have Gennard and I cannot remember what that CBI member's name was, holding Diamond back, and then you have D-Mac and what is his name? Oh my goodness. D-Mac's homeboy. I cannot remember what D-Mac's homeboy's name is, but they're holding Tommy back. So again, you can see where everybody's loyalties lie in this particular situation. Stacy, it looks like she's doing an interview with some presser, and she remembers what exactly motivated her into being a prosecutor. And it ended up being the death of her brother, which led into her sitting down and telling Bobby, soon to be ex-husband Bobby, that she been working with Tommy Egan and she hella guilty about it and she wants to fix it. And Bobby like, look, I can help you out. Like, I can help you. She's like, I got myself into it. I can get myself out. I want to keep you clean, which is admirable. And which, to be honest, she did the right thing by telling Bobby, because you really can't tell anybody at this point because they're still married. Spousal privilege. That's why him of all people was the person that she told. Stacy decides to call a meet with Tommy. Pretty much tells him like, look, I'm done. This ain't for me. You could do whatever you want. You want to tell on me. I have powerful friends. I'll get a slap on the wrist. Yeah, I won't be mayor, but I'll be all right. Tommy like, is you crazy? Like, you gonna do what I tell you to do. And then Stacy, she over here fumbling around with the gun, saying that you under arrest. And as soon as she tries to get that gun out, Tommy, boom, boom, 2 caps in her. And that's it for Stacy Marks. I would say we get a moment of silence for her, but you know what? When I think about it, I'm trying to figure out who makes the most ugliest faces in this show. And it's between Stacy and Claudia, and they both get murked. A 3-episode span. And to be honest, I'm not going to miss Stacy either because she was on a serious power trip and she definitely needed to go. I'm going to put it to you like that. Like I can't even sugarcoat it to you. She needed to go. And so you ain't going to get no sympathies for me. Goodbye, Stacy. But that's episode 7, Lines in the Sand. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section. You know what it is. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This is the Movie Fanatics. I'm up out of here, man.